This island isn't a country. Its government is the oldest in the world, and it hosts the deadliest race on Earth. This is the Isle of Man, a truly bizarre and unbelievable place floating in the middle of the Irish Sea. And today, we're counting down 20 of the wildest facts about it that you probably won't believe are true. Let's get into it. Kicking things off with a real head-scratcher. The Isle of Man isn't an independent country, but it's not part of the UK either. So, what is it? Officially, it's a self-governing British Crown dependency. In simple terms, this means it has its own government, writes its own laws, and runs its own affairs. The UK just handles its defense and foreign relations. The head of state is King Charles III, but he's not called the king here. His title is the Lord of Man. It's a political paradox that allows the island to have its own identity, but stops it from, say, joining the UN on its own. While Iceland's Althing might be a bit older, the Isle of Man's parliament, Tailless, proudly claims the title of the oldest continuous parliament in the world, with an unbroken history stretching back over 1,000 years to its Viking origins. Tailless has been meeting without fail for centuries. And they have a national holiday for it, Tailless Day, where all the laws passed that year are read out in both English and the native Manx language from a four-tiered man-made hill. It's a living, breathing connection to an ancient past. The Isle of Man TT, or Tourist Trophy, is, without question, the most dangerous motorsport event on the planet. Since the first race back in 1907, the course has claimed the lives of over 270 riders. Sid, this isn't some modern sterile circuit. The TT is run on public roads. For 2 weeks, the island's narrow, winding streets, lined with stone walls, houses, and lamp posts, are turned into a high-speed death trap where racers blast past at over 200 miles per hour. The sheer, terrifying danger is exactly what makes it a legend. The Isle of Man prints its own currency, the Manx pound. On the island, it's used side by side with the British pound. They're worth the exact same amount. But here's the crazy part. Take a Manx banknote back to the UK, and good luck trying to spend it. Even though it has the same value, Manx currency isn't legal tender in the United Kingdom. So, the money that was perfectly good on the island suddenly becomes nothing more than a colorful souvenir the second you step off the ferry. There's a reason the Isle of Man is so popular with the super rich and massive corporations. It's a tax haven. The standard corporate tax rate is a jaw-dropping 0%. That's right, 0. On top of that, there's no capital gains tax and no inheritance tax. This has turned the island into a global hub for finance and online gambling companies looking to legally shrink their tax bills. Now, it's not a total free-for-all. Banks and large retailers do pay a 10% tax, and income from property is taxed at 20%. But for most, it's a tax-free paradise. One of the most famous symbols of the island is the Manx cat, a breed that is born without a tail. It's a natural genetic mutation that spread because the island's cat population was so small and isolated. Of course, legend offers far better stories. One tale claims that when Noah was shutting the doors of the ark, he accidentally slammed it on the cat's tail. Another says that ancient warriors used to steal kittens to use their tails as good luck charms. So mother cats started biting them off to protect their babies. The Manx flag is one of the most unique flags you'll ever see. It features a triskelion, 3 armored legs, bent at the knee and connected at the thigh, spinning on a bright red background. The symbol is ancient, and its origins are a bit of a mystery, but it's thought to represent strength and stability. This is backed up by the island's motto, which often goes with it, quocunque gesiris stabit, a Latin phrase meaning, whichever way you throw it, it will stand. It perfectly captures the tough, resilient spirit of the Manx people. On the Isle of Man, they don't really do Halloween. They celebrate Hop Tuna, an ancient Celtic festival that's even older. It falls on October 31st and has some very distinct traditions. Instead of pumpkins, kids carve out turnips, which they call moots. They carry these turnip lanterns door to door, singing traditional Hop Tuna songs and hoping to get some sweets. The whole festival is deeply tied to folklore, marking the end of summer and the beginning of winter, when the barrier between our world and the spirit world was at its thinnest. To give you an idea of just how small this place is, the entire population of the Isle of Man hovers around 85,000 people. London's Wembley Stadium holds 90,000, so you could give every single man, woman, and child on the island a ticket to a game, and there'd still be 5,000 empty seats. This small population creates an incredible sense of community and a pace of life that feels like another world compared to its busy UK neighbor. Here's a great irony for you. Despite hosting the world's most lethal race, the Isle of Man is widely considered one of the safest places you can live. In the British Isles, violent crime is incredibly rare. Life on the island, outside of those 2 insane weeks of the TT, is remarkably peaceful and secure. In some surveys, it's even been ranked as one of the safest places on Earth, with a quality of life that gives some of the wealthiest nations a run for their money. The Man in Isle of Man has nothing to do with people. The island is named after Manannán mac Lir, a powerful Celtic sea god. According to myth, Manannán was the island's first ruler and its magical protector. He would cover the island in a thick supernatural mist called Manannán's cloak to hide it from anyone trying to invade. He was said to ride his chariot across the waves and had a ship that could move without needing sails. It's a connection that's still alive today. The island's native language is Manx Gaelic, a Celtic tongue similar to Irish and Scottish Gaelic. By the middle of the 20th century, the language was nearly extinct, with only a few elderly native speakers left. But then, a passionate revival movement kicked off today. Manx is taught in schools. There's even a primary school where all lessons are in Manx, and a growing number of islanders are learning it. It's an incredible cultural comeback, proving just how determined the Manx people are to hold on to their unique identity. One of the most charming and seriously observed superstitions on the island is greeting the ferries at the ferry bridge. As you cross this tiny, unassuming bridge, it's considered very bad luck if you don't say, "Hello, ferries," out loud. And locals absolutely mean it. You'll see bus drivers make an announcement as they pass. And people leave little gifts and coins on the bridge to stay on the ferry's good side. Even some TT racers visit the bridge before a race to ask for good luck. Better safe than sorry, right? Manx folklore is packed with a whole zoo of strange and frankly terrifying creatures. You've got the Buggin, a nasty, ogre-like spirit that supposedly tore the roof off a church because it hated the sound of the hymns. Then there's the Glashtan, a shape-shifting water horse that tricks people and drags them into a watery grave. And maybe the most famous of all, the Maudie Dhu, a ghostly black dog that haunted Peel Castle and scared soldiers into silence. These aren't just fairy tales. They're woven into the island itself. The Isle of Man is home to the Lady Isabella, but everyone knows it as the Great Laxey Wheel. built in 1854. It is the largest working water wheel in the world. This absolute giant stands over 72 feet tall, and it wasn't built to grind flour. This incredible piece of Victorian engineering was designed to pump water out of the nearby lead mines. It was so powerful, it could pump 250 gallons of water a minute from nearly 1,500 feet below ground. Today, it's one of the island's most breathtaking landmarks. On December 26th, islanders practice a very strange tradition called Hunt the Wren. Don't worry, no birds are harmed. Groups known as Wren Boys go from house to house with a pole decorated with holly and ribbons, carrying a fake wren in a little cage. They dance, sing, and collect money. The tradition is thought to have pagan roots, telling the story of an enchantress who would lure Manx men to their doom before turning into a wren to escape. As punishment, the bird is doomed to be hunted once a year. Here's another political curveball for you. Even though it's a crown dependency and its head of state is the British monarch, the Isle of Man is not a member of the Commonwealth of Nations. That club is reserved for sovereign states. But it's still considered part of the Commonwealth family through its link to the UK, and it gets to compete in things like the Commonwealth Games. It's just another one of those weird quirks that define the island. Another ancient festival that's still alive is Oye Voldien, or May Day Eve. This was traditionally a time to protect yourself from evil spirits and witches, who were believed to be out in full force. The main custom was to burn gorse bushes. The loud, crackling sound they made was thought to scare away anything malevolent. People would also hang a small cross made from rowan twigs over their doors for good measure. Today, it's celebrated with fire festivals that keep these ancient superstitions burning bright. Way before it was common in the rest of Europe, the Isle of Man was a trailblazer for women's suffrage. In 1881, Tynwald passed a law giving some women the right to vote. Now, it was limited. Only unmarried women and widows who owned property got the vote. But it still made the Isle of Man the first national parliament in the world to let women vote in a general election. This tiny island was decades ahead of many larger, supposedly more progressive nations. And for the final fact, let's go back to that incredible motto, Quocunque geceris stabit. Whichever way you throw it, it will stand. This phrase is the perfect summary of the island's entire character. It's been tossed about by history, ruled by Celts, Vikings, Scots, and the English, but it has never, ever lost its footing. It has held on to its unique identity, its ancient government, and its fiercely independent spirit against all odds. It's a small island with the soul of a giant. So, there you have it. From a government older than most countries to a culture wrapped up in sea gods and fairies, the Isle of Man is a place that just refuses to be simple. It's a land of wild contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern finance, and peaceful hillsides become the backdrop for the world's deadliest race. What did you think was the craziest fact on our list? Let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you had fun on this trip into the bazaar, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. We'll see you in the next one.